Right. Even though he was born into that universe, shouldn't he just be inherently evil?
No, and I don't necessarily think that in this mirror universe people are inherently evil. I think that they're a victim of their circumstances, and they've probably grown. If you don't have the morals and the characteristics of the people who've raised you, you kind of end up becoming like that. If you want to help other people in this universe, you're going to live a very short life.
Mixties presents the Popcast.
Let's do it.
Hey, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and today we're talking about Star Trek Discovery, Episode 12, and oh boy, what the bleep is going on, huh, bro? Woo!
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is the Boom Boom Show.
The Boom Boom!
What that means is...
Give me that Boom
the
Boom!
Boom Show.
Oh.
This is the Star Trek Discovery Boom Boom. Meaning that this is the point at which the show finally makes a left turn and we get multiple answers. I mean, I'm talking about, they said, here you go. This is exactly what we're doing. I'm laying it all out for you.
Yeah.
This is the show. We got several points to talk about today. I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, I totally agree. This I know we're gonna get there, but the Lorca reveal does fix a lot of stuff from the first season canon wise. Now it doesn't fix the Klingons, and it doesn't fix some of the writing and stuff and how messy and sloppy the first few episodes were, but this definitely gets me back on canon board. You know what I mean? Yeah,
no, that's a good point. I mean, you got the Lorca reveal, you've got the explanation for the Stamets mirror universe, what we saw from those first episodes, why it was happening and what it was and what it is. We basically get a defiant explanation on why people were going crazy in the original series. We also get what else? We also get the whole Klingon. Exactly what happened to Vok. We find out in this episode exactly what happened to Vok. It isn't Vok. It's Vok's consciousness.
Right.
And I'm like, that's trippy right now. So
the thing about Vok, I thought it was like Vok, but they made him human.
Right.
But apparently they re-put together a dead human, reactivated his brain or something. I don't get it 100%.
Yeah,
but
it's still cloudy, but much more knowledge. I mean, knowing that that's not actually Vok. I always thought it was just Vok laying there and they cut his bones up or shortened him or something.
Right,
but that's not what the case. And I like that we got some more information there. So
well, I also like that it's a little less crazy, because it would have been very crazy to have turned a Klingon into a human and no one to have noticed, considering the technology, right?
That's a good point.
This is a little more no, it was a dead human that we basically brought back from the dead.
Yeah, used his DNA. They basically created kind of a new person.
Right. Okay, well, before we get into the review, let's talk about 1,600 subs, baby. We are so close, another 100 subs or so, and we get there. So get down there, subscribe, comment, share, all that cool stuff to be a part of that outstanding, outlandish, out-of-this-world giveaway. The last time was our 800 sub challenge, and we gave away 3 tickets to Star Wars The Last Jedi premiere with dinner, popcorn, candy. Basically, the whole night was on us. 3 people and had a great time, and they can attest to that in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it was like a $400 prize.
Yeah,
contest.
And we're gonna do that again, but better.
And also
about 100 more subs. Go ahead.
About 100 more subs. Also, we got 9 more videos left before we do our unboxing or our boxing for one commenter, 1 subscriber, and that's going to be cool. I just did the count. We're down to 9 from 32, so we're getting close.
Yep, and the boxing videos are always fun. Okay, so yeah, get down there. And today's show is sponsored by Vulcan in the Streets, Klingon in the Sheets. This t-shirt is truly one of a kind.
That's pretty funny.
Support the show and have fun with Star Trek. You can find it at mixtees.com. Use coupon code Brian or Shane. Notice I said Brian first, because I want you to use Brian. Shane keeps hijacking this point in the show to get his message out there. Get 30% off by using either coupon code, and tell Mixtees which one of the brothers you like more.
Shane.
Me, Brian. Okay. Now, let's talk some Star Trek, Shane.
Yeah, you want to talk about some news?
Yeah, real quick though, just to let you guys know, the last Star Trek review got personally flagged by CBS, and we are in the middle of a what do you call it? Like an appeal
Dispute?
which is why the video is still up and you can watch it. But they may or may not decide that our appeal doesn't matter and they don't want that video up, and that video may or may not go down. If it does, if it goes down, you know we lost that appeal, and why today's format is going to be a little shorter. And we have come under the impression that maybe because of how in-depth our recaps are, they don't like it. So we're going to try to shorten the recap a little bit and focus more on the review because of that. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, it's not, I think it's personally a little bit cheesy that CBS, I mean, maybe it should be a compliment that CBS thinks we're doing such a good job recapping the show that we're giving away too much info, that you don't need to go watch the show is basically what they're saying.
I guess so. It wasn't even auto flagged. Like an actual person like at CBS or related to CBS in some way flagged our video and took it down, which is like crazy.
Yeah, so thanks for watching.
Yeah, hey, thanks for watching.
Appreciate you.
Like 600 views, and like you're gonna like remove the video with 600 views and like 1,000 subscribers, like whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, whatever. But listen, it's not gonna take away anything from the show. The show's still gonna be full. It's just we won't have as many slides as we normally do.
Mm-hmm. So instead of like 73 slides, there might be like 30.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about some Star Trek news before we do this review, bro. What do you got?
Okay, so Star Trek news. If you are a fan of Doug Jones on Star Trek Discovery, of course,
love me some Doug Jones.
You might just get a chance to watch him link up with Star Trek and science fiction superstar Robert Picardo, of course known as the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager, among other things like Stargate.
Emergency medical hologram.
That's right. A 2-hour pilot for Space Command was fully funded on Kickstarter over the holidays, and the production crew has announced they can now start production on the episode. Almost 3,000 backers pledged more than $220,000 to help bring this project to life. Star Trek writer Mark Zicree teams up with Galactica effects whiz Doug Drexler to reinvent this classic 50s TV show. And I'd like to give a shout out to Slash and Bones 13 for giving me this little tasty tidbit of news. Slash and Bones, thank you.
Thank you, Slash and Bones. While we're talking about some of our viewers, can we give a shout out to Marcus? Because boy, that guy called it. Either he works at CBS and he's a writer, or he just knew for the last few weeks that Lorca and Burnham were going to not only be in a romantic entanglement, but also from the Mirror Universe. Like, what? Can you read? Do we have that comment that we can read?
Yeah, I don't have the comment with me, but basically Marcus said that. Also, Slash and Bones 13 had the romance thing nailed down, and also Jeffrey Golden mentioned 2 or 3 episodes ago about the Lorca being from the Mirror Universe. And I know that's floating around out there, but I was actually pretty surprised. Some of our viewers are like way on top of it.
Nailed it.
I don't know how you got the whole romance thing. I don't know if Marcus is looking at it as a positive thing, but I was shocked by what happened on last episode.
Yeah, totally nailed it. That's crazy. Yeah, well done. All right, well, let's get into this review, guys. We open up with a pretty cool, like very, the TNG type shuttle coming out of the Mirror Universe. I noticed almost immediately that the shuttle looked a lot like the Next Generation shuttles, even though it's like 40 years behind, right? But it's in the Mirror Universe, so it's like it's okay. And the Mirror Universe has better tech because they got the tech from Defiant like earlier in their timeline than we had that tech, right? So they got a little head start on us, which is probably why they rule the universe or galaxy. And the shot of the Emperor's ship is just like, is that a star, like a captured star as their powered supply?
That is one serious nuclear reaction right there. That's all I could really say. I don't know. That's I wasn't sure what that was. It's obviously some sort of reactor.
Well, whatever it is, it's awesome. It's like some kind of weird like singularity drive or something. I would love to know more about that. It's funny. I kept refreshing the Trek Yards channel today, not to advertise another channel, because I want to know what they're all big on, like ships and ship design, and I wanted to see the host of that show's face when he saw this ship. Like, did he just pass out from pure bliss?
I mean, it's different. It's unique. I'm not sure how they derived this from their technology they stole from Defiant, but okay.
I don't know either. Okay, now we're on the Discovery, and remember, they're still trying to fix Commander Stamets. By the way,
he's in a coma, right?
If I didn't make it clear, Burnham and Lorca are going to see the Emperor. Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
Yes, yeah, they've been summoned by the Emperor.
Right, and now we go back to Discovery, and yeah, they have surmised that he is in a coma, although he is stable. So his body is stable, but he's in a coma. And
right.
Those little spores are doing work. I'm not sure what work, but they're doing something. And
well, yeah, we learn here in a second actually what they're doing. They're facilitating his entry into the Mycenian network.
I'm doing the recap, bro.
Oh, did I give it away too soon?
No, that's right. No,
sorry if you haven't seen the show.
Saru doesn't seem very optimistic about his recovery. I noticed that. Saru has really stepped up to the plate to be the captain, and he's just not trying to. I guess he's not trying to spend any much more time on Lieutenant Stamets. All right, now we go into Stamets' mind, and we see the two Stamets, the one from this universe, the Mirror Universe, and the one from the Prime Universe.
The Mirror Universe one doesn't seem quite as evil? Bad as you think.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's the funny one or the happy one.
We do get a little tidbit from his dead partner that he was trying to use the network for his own gain or something. I guess that would be construed as evil, but it's not.
Yeah, he's the reason. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's the reason why everything's going bad or something.
Yeah, why there's blight. I mean, I don't know what to call it other than blight, right? It's some kind of an infection or something on the spores.
Makes sense, but the way he said it was the end of everything. So does this mean, I wasn't quite sure if they were clear about whether or not this was the end of the universe as we know it?
No, I know what it is. I just figured it out.
Well, we can talk about it when we get there if you want. I know.
No, he's going to wipe out the network so that spore drive can't be used in the future.
Okay.
Which would make a lot of sense, because why have this technology and not mention it, during the original series or Next Generation, right?
Yeah, they have to kill it if they're coming back to the universe.
Right. I get it. They're actively retconning things they put in place in the first 5 or 6 episodes. It's so crazy.
Yeah, they've listened to the fans and now they're saving the show, or they're trying to, or so it looks like.
It seems that way, yeah. Next time we see Klingons, are they gonna look more like standard Klingons? Are they gonna have hair?
We probably lost the Klingon battle, to be honest with you.
Because if you gave them hair, if we saw a house, if they gave us a glimpse of a Klingon house where it's the same exact makeup, but they happen to have that hair, it would totally take a lot of argument away from the looks of the Klingons, I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
All right. They have this great line, by the way, where he's like, "Am I dead? Right? Is this the afterlife?" And his Mirror Universe counterpart is like, "Yeah, God's here, and she's really mad at you."
Yeah, that old taking God and making it a her. That was actually done a long time ago with Jay and Silent Bob, I think.
Right. I just thought it was funny how he was messing with himself. He's definitely the more tongue-in-cheek,
Yeah. He's.
I guess you have to be to survive in the Mirror Universe as a scientist. You can't be super serious or they'll just murder you.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Or you can be super evil.
We get a shot of what the blight looks like in his mind. And it looks like it's like wiping out pieces of the ship or something that they're on. Oh, the ship they're on too appears to be an amalgamation of both the Mirror Universe style and art direction and the Prime Universe style and art direction, which I thought was really cool because they're both their minds, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
All right, now we go to the Emperor's ship, and I love this reveal of the Emperor in person. Mm-hmm. It looks like the platform, like the Emmys thing, right?
Like the Oscars, you mean?
Oscars, right. I forgot what it's called. One of those award shows. It looks like she's about to like receive announce an award or something.
Yeah, kind of. She's in charge, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love this style too. Like she's a great actress. Really, really good actress. And the sword and the art direction, what she's wearing is almost like it's functional, but also battle ready. Also like, ready for a ball. Very Emperor-like.
You're right. It does. Their uniforms have this. Not only do they look like they're dress uniforms, but you look like you could do battle in them. It's like a really all-inclusive type of uniform.
Mm-hmm. Like
no need to change.
Yeah, here's my ceremonial. It looks like a ceremonial uniform that's also ready for battle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She asked Burnham to select. I forgot the race's name. One of Saru's people.
To select one of the
Keldon?
one of Saru's people.
Kelpians.
Kelpians.
I know I'm murdering this race's name. I'm sorry, guys.
Kelpian.
She asked Burnham to select a Kelpian, and at that moment, we're assuming she's selecting a Kelpian as like a servant.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure about that because it seemed like the Kelpian either was nodding to pick the guy next to him or nodding pick me. I'm not sure, but she picked him. Apparently he didn't know what was going to happen to him either.
She picked the spirited one that was like making noises, and bad choice, I guess.
Yeah, that bad choice. I mean, that was really awful.
It was awful. It was awful.
It was awful. I mean, they ate him.
They ate a person.
They basically ate this creature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Human.
So she seems to embrace Michael as if, as if she's glad she's there, and she addresses her as daughter. So Burnham in this universe is the Emperor's, Georgiou's adopted daughter.
Right. So instead of Sarek, and it was. But she loses her parents regardless, which is interesting across two timelines.
Right.
Or two worlds.
Now we bump over, and by the way, they send Lorca down to the agony booth. He's getting right back to being agonized.
Yeah.
Popping over the Discovery, and Ash Tyler snaps out of his Vok aggressive fit throwing for a moment to address Saru, and basically say, help me. That's when we realize that looks like Ash Tyler is still there. So we might get this character back without the Klingon part of it, which I'm 100% okay with.
Well, I got to tell you, I love that they did this, Brian, because I don't want Vok back. No. You want there to be an opportunity for Michael to if this is the love of her life. I don't know. But it's nice to know that it was created in such a way that you could eventually look at this character and go, okay, they got rid of Vok's consciousness. Because that's technically all that needs to happen in order to be able to get this character back.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We just need, if we get his consciousness back, everything's fine. He's obviously gone through a major ordeal, but he had already gone through a major ordeal. So we're going to get the same Ash Tyler back that we've already known. And he's a good character. He's definitely a liked character on the show. I really hope that's what's going on, and we just sort of let's not talk about the Klingons. Let's imagine.
I was bummed. I was bummed that he was Vok.
Yeah,
I was not happy. I was like,
I thought we were losing a character.
I'm like,
right,
but he's Vok. And so now that they've written it in such a way so that he doesn't necessarily have to be Vok. He can still be him. I'm like, makes me happy.
It's a good compromise. I thought maybe that it would be Vok, and he would snap out of it, but he wouldn't. Like, he would wake up as Vok, but he wouldn't let anybody know, and he would slowly get to know the humans while planning some, horrific war-like thing. And when he got to know them, the personalities would like merge in a way where, that's how we got peace with the Klingons. But I'm glad that's a long way to go. And I'm glad that it was just easier just to like sort of rip the Band-Aid off and just pull his consciousness out of there completely. I like that.
Yeah, and also I don't think it's that easy to take somebody who is who is basically so deeply into their religion,
their ideology,
that they are lost to it. It would have been hard to turn that person in the way you suggest.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So this is probably better.
All right, we pop on over to the Emperor's ship where they are literally eating Saru.
Yummy.
I'm sorry, not Saru. Saru's people, the Kelpians. She offers her the ganglion, like that thing that pops off his neck that says like they're in trouble. I thought that was like interesting how she picks up like this cooked version of the organ that tells them that there's danger.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like Giorgio telling Michael she's in danger or about to be.
Right, yeah. Which she, at the next scene, basically puts a dagger to her throat and says, and that's when we realize that Burnham betrayed the Emperor too. She was actually Lorca's lover or something.
Whoa, yeah. Hello,
and
guys.
She took off with Lorca, and they were trying to usurp the Emperor. And she doesn't know why she came back, right?
Yeah, basically exactly what Marcus said. Good job, Marcus.
Which, by the way, that means that the Burnham from the Mirror Universe is probably dead, right?
Yeah, that's what she feared, is that she was dead and that Lorca was dead. So, well, that'll be interesting to note because Lorca, obviously from Mirror Universe, came to the Prime Universe, right?
Right.
So did he kill Burnham?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, back.
Well, I'm sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
He's having this moment where he's being tortured, right? And the guy keeps saying, "Say my sister's name. She loved you. Say my sister's name." So if he's with Burnham, right? He's with this other one. He's got that line of, there's always another one or something like that. That's very odd and weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he must have.
Lord, that's same with Lorca. We're going to get there, but wow, that was great.
Yeah.
All right. Back in Stamets' mind, he's working with his Mirror Universe counterpart. I guess they're working with a computer.
In the Mycelium network.
And they're trying to figure out where the last jump happened or something. And that's when his dead partner sort of appears and then walks away and draws his attention. I don't got any more slides of that because...
Well, let's talk about that for a second. They end up in the bathroom in that scene where...
I have slides of that bathroom.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Because right now, at this moment, he just sort of takes off.
Okay, yeah.
While the Mirror Universe is like, come back and finish working.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah, he said it's easy to get pulled off.
Right.
I mentioned that earlier. His counterpart did.
All right, back to the Emperor's throne. Remember, she has sentenced Michael to death. She told Michael to come before her in the throne room where she's going to personally kill Michael in front of her, I guess, like guard or something, whatever those people are. That's when Michael decides, well, I'm going to die, so I better pull this last chip out.
Yeah, I am so pleased that happened, Brian, because in so many TV shows, and so often, they don't. But Michael Burnham realizes, I'm going to die if I don't do it. And she just does it. A very realistic situation here, the way they dealt with this. And I like how they did this.
Yeah, she was like, because I loved you or whatever. And she goes, no, you don't love me because you don't know me. Before today, we never met. Here's my proof. And she hands him the dog tag of Giorgio. And I guess the Empress takes the dog tag into a machine, gets the quantum signature, puts the pieces together, because remember, the Empress knows all about the Defiant, and even though it's like hyper classified, super secret information that's only privy to a few people, obviously the Empress would be one of those people, because her rise to power is directly related to the Defiant, right?
Well, her power, yeah, because I'm assuming, multi-generational, her grandmother probably was the original Empress or Emperor.
Right.
With the Defiant.
Right. That's when we get this scene, and it was so hard to get a slide of this, but I tried to try. Where she takes like this weird batarang.
Oh,
thing,
wow.
Throws it, and it goes through all the heads of all the commanders that are there, and right back to her hand. It's only sparing one of them, seemingly on purpose. That was crazy. And when he looks at him, he goes, "You can keep a secret, right? Cool, clean this up, and I'll make you governor of Andoria or whatever."
I got to tell you, he's like, "Oh yeah, I can
oh yeah, definitely, yeah. No problem, boss."
Yeah. How much Yondu was that weapon right there?
Yeah, it was very Yondu-esque, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So she kills them all basically because she doesn't want it getting out of the room that Michael Burnham's from another from the Mirror Universe.
Yeah.
Mirror Universe.
Apparently, they keep the Defiant information very close to the vest.
Yeah. Well, she is underestimating. I feel like this Empress is going to jack them up bad. Well, she does not have kindness in her heart.
She had that line where she was like, was your George Giorgio an honorable person? And she's like, yes. She goes, well, then you should trust me. But like, if you have to remind somebody that you need to be trusted, maybe you shouldn't be trusted. I feel like
you absolutely cannot trust her. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, there's no way. I mean, she's evil.
Yeah.
Evil incarnate.
Evil incarnate. Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Like, there's no way she's gonna get the data for the spore drive and then just let them leave. Like,
no, yeah. I mean, not a lot Michael could do about it because she's gonna get killed.
Right.
But if she thinks that Lorca, she's gonna somehow save this Emperor from Lorca. Something's gonna happen where she's gonna save her, and the Emperor is gonna turn on her.
And my question is, why would you once you realize? I guess we're gonna get there. Once you realize Lorca is not your Lorca, and he's against the evil Empire, like, doesn't that make like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing? Doesn't that make? Wouldn't you rather toss your hat in with Lorca? Isn't he a little more? Isn't there a better chance of him letting you go back home versus the Empress that doesn't know you? Like, Lorca knows you, knows your crew.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and Lorca, he just wants to be Emperor. So he don't, you know what I'm saying? That's his whole goal, was to basically to overthrow the Emperor and be the Emperor. He wants to be the one in charge. That's his motivation. So it's not like, he's apparently just as evil as we always thought he was, deep down. And he's going to replace her, and there's nothing saying he's going to let him go back. He's probably going to take advantage of him, and you can't trust Lorca at this point either, knowing he's from this universe.
Yeah, it's sort of a nature versus nurture thing too, though. Like, like, is he evil automatically because he was born in the Mirror Universe? Because Spock was born in the Mirror Universe, back in the original series, and even though he lived there and operated there and excelled there, just like Lorca, he was able to do a good thing to save I guess somebody from the original series. I don't remember that episode great, but I remember Spock, the goatee Spock, was the reason like that episode ended up with a happy ending. He did something to help somebody, even though he was
Kirk. Right.
Even though he was born into that universe. Shouldn't he just be inherently evil?
No, and I don't necessarily think that in this Mirror Universe people are inherently evil. I think that they're a victim of their circumstances, and they've probably grown. If you don't have the morals and and the characteristics of the people who've raised you, you kind of end up becoming like that. And if you got, if you want to help other people in this universe, you're going to live a very short life. So you kind of that's how you grow them. And I don't know if Lorca has the ability to be, if there's any redemption value in him. I don't know. He's killed too many people. He seemed to be a little upset when that guy gets vaporized that knew him a little later in this episode.
Yeah, he definitely was upset about that.
So maybe you could trust Lorca over Giorgio at this point, but not too much.
Yeah, I get that. By the way, just a little side note, Sarek had to have escaped the bombing from last episode, right? I just realized this.
Oh, I'm sure.
He had to have escaped it because Spock.
Well, this is the mirror universe. So, you're talking about for...
the mirror version of Spock is in the mirror universe in a decade from now.
He's already been born, though. So he doesn't mean he survived.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We go back to this ugly chick. Ugh.
L'Rell.
Now, it's interesting because Saru is basically asking L'Rell for help. Ash Tyler slash Vought is violent and hurting himself and having a lot of problems. And he realizes that the only way that they know to save him is the person that made him that way in the first place. So he goes to L'Rell, and she basically says, no, he is this is war, and he is a casualty of war. Right. Interesting exchange there, and that's sort of where it ends.
Yeah, she's not even moved by the fact that they're not in their universe anymore. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, what's funny is, the war's over. You lost.
Yeah.
In this universe, you lost. He was trying to explain that, and she was like, she just didn't care. Because her ideology is so strong,
Yeah.
All right. Back in Stamets' mind, and we have this great interaction with him and his dead partner. Now, I got to be honest. I'm a little bit confused on the whole dead partner thing. Like, where is this person coming from?
So, I don't know. This is where you get a little bit weird. It starts to become a little bit
metaphysical.
I guess his spirit is maybe in the Mycelial network, and somehow, I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. Because he gives him information that he couldn't have gotten from himself,
right.
Which is that the other one is the one he's been, I don't know, man. I don't know.
At first I thought, maybe it's a figment of his mind.
That's what I figured it would be.
But no, but he gives him information that he couldn't have had.
Yeah, so it's apparently this is his ghost. That's the only way you're going to really be able to put it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else to call it, his spirit or whatever.
Spirit, ghost, whatever. Yeah. So
yeah. All right.
Let's go with that for now. So we're told otherwise. You know what they wanted? The show runners wanted you to have another moment with these guys before the untimely death, the murder. Now they didn't get a chance to say goodbye. This is like their goodbye.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it started dragging out, but yeah, I get it. Well, he basically tells Stamets, like, look, that guy was trying to use the network for his own gain, and he created the Blight.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Now we're back at the Emperor's throne room, where Michael Burnham is having a conversation with the Empress. And she explains the whole history of Lorca and Burnham, and it's almost funny they have this weird discussion about what's right and wrong, and how the Federation has these really dangerous values of equality and basically all the values that we represent as a society.
Yes.
So it's weird. She was born and nurtured and learned everything she knows in this universe, where those values are weakness and dangerous. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Yeah, she definitely does not like the Federation.
No. All right, we're back over to Saru, and Saru does this super gangster move, guys. Thank you, Saru. I love this character so much. He asks her one more time to help him save Ash Tyler. He shows in the picture of Ash, clawing at his own chest, basically trying to kill himself. And L'Rell says no. So he goes, all right, energize. He's your problem now.
Yeah, you brought this creature into this universe. You can deal with it.
Yeah, and the way he calls it, like, a creature, like, he is disgusted at what's going on with Ash. And at the same moment, though, he wants to save Ash Tyler. He doesn't want to just kill Vox/Ash. He would rather him, be saved, but he can't keep him in sickbay anymore. So it's your problem now. And he just sort of beams him into the cell with her. That was crazy. And she says something on his way out. I can save him. I can save him.
But it has to be by my hands.
Basically, she's going to murder the Vox portion of his brain.
Yeah.
And then we go to the agonizing booth with Lorca. I love this scene so much. He's having a conversation with this Mirror Universe commander, who I guess his sister, Lorca coerced his sister in some way and then killed her or something. I don't know. There's some history there. But at this moment, we don't know Lorca is the Mirror Universe. We think that he's talking about his Lorca, and that our Lorca doesn't even know this person's name.
Yeah, this was fantastic. I love this.
So good. Although there was a moment there after he asked him the second time, what's her name? I thought, wait a minute. What if he knows her name and this is confirmation that he's not our Lorca? I thought about that for a brief moment, but then he let this dude die, and I was like, oh no, it's not. It is our Lorca, and they're confused, right? Because I guess he injected him with some kind of like cell or something that like this guy literally exploded all over the agony booth.
Yeah, and he didn't care enough.
No, I think that the only way he was getting out of that agony booth to kill this guy and escape. I don't think Lorca is all bad like you do.
Okay.
What I think is he wanted to, because he looked perplexed, like he wanted to save this guy by saying the name. But he knew if he did, the jig was up and he wasn't going to get out of that booth.
Well, okay, but that doesn't make him good. He wants out of the booth so he can overtake the Emperor.
Right.
It's not about doing something right. He's trying to kill somebody.
It's the means to an end. And I think even though maybe he doesn't want this guy to die, he also doesn't want, he also needs to get out of that booth to save the rest of his people to go up against the Emperor.
Oh, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think, I'm not sure that he wants to save his people.
That all the people are literally on their own deck. There's so many of them on their own deck in agony booths, remember?
Okay.
So he knows, he gets information right there. The people, they rounded up all of the people that were on his side, and they're on the Emperor's ship on their own deck.
Okay.
This might be a super long con plan on how to overthrow the Emperor. You know what I mean? Because the Emperor did it for them. They rounded up everybody that was on Lorca's side, and he knew that she would never kill him because she would rather them be agonized forever, because a quick death is mercy.
Right. So maybe Lorca's not evil, and he cares about his people so much that he's willing to go to the Mirror Universe to get the other Michael Burnham so that he could trick the Emperor into getting back on her ship.
Right.
Because I couldn't figure his motivation. I'm like, you're going to go to another universe? You want to kill the Emperor that bad? Maybe it's because he cares about his people.
Yeah, maybe he cares about his people. And like the whole game was to rescue his people and usurp the Empire and be the hero. And
maybe change the Empire.
Right.
Maybe we just haven't learned that yet.
And that's the, he's basically been saying that for like 10 episodes. He keeps saying, this is war and you got to do things you don't want to do.
Oh my gosh, bro. It's Han Solo.
Yeah, he's Han Solo.
He's maybe. We'll see.
It's possible. What if he knows there's bigger stakes than just killing an organism or whatever, or somebody freezing to death in space or whatever the deal is, right? There's big stakes.
Love that. I don't know if you have it in there, but Michael realizes when she starts talking when the Emperor opens up the bay doors, and she's blinded by the light, right? And she's
that's when she starts
sensitive to
figuring
the
it out.
light. That's
Yeah.
when she figured it out. And I'm like, oh, what a great. And so basically, either the showrunners, I'm impressed. The writers knew it from the beginning. The thing about his weakness with his eyes was from the very beginning. They've been
Yep.
meaning to go here all the time. So
Yep.
we may need to give him more credit than we've given him.
Oh no! Listen. I know now that the whole sensitivity to light was not like a war thing, and that it was they're adding to the lore of the Mirror Universe people. My
love
only
that,
problem with which I like it a lot. You know, it's a good way to distinguish difference. You know the difference. My biggest problem. It's not a big problem. My minor annoyed problem I got to deal with here is, and it's fine, but they never really had a sensitivity to light in any of the other shows. And
Right, but
maybe it was
it
overlooked.
was darker. No, well, not really, because if you go back and look at the Enterprise's mirror, very dark. You know, everything in that unit. I mean, the hallways are dark. It's not very lit up.
What about when the evil Kirk is on our ship? He's not like wincing in pain at all the super bright white
I'm going to
lights.
forgive them for the original episode.
Okay.
Since there's nothing they could do about that. I gotta give them a little bit of leeway.
And the Enterprise, on Enterprise, it was almost solely in the Mirror Universe, and it was very, very dark.
It was dark.
You know what? I'm okay with this, guys.
All right.
Complaint,
Nice.
redacted. I'm okay with it. I like this. In fact, you know what? I like it.
I like it.
You are in a prequel, TV series. You are adding to the lore of something that almost every fan loves, the Mirror Universe.
Cool.
All right. Moving on from that, we're back on the Discovery, and L'Rell is using this weird, hand device to mess with Ash Tyler's brain, I'm seemingly to remove the Vok personality, which
She carries that around in her back pocket.
I don't know. But by the way, I think that the confirmation that they're removing Vok's personality and not the other way around, is when she gives this Klingon death cry, where she's like, "Roar," I think that means that her Vok that sacrificed everything for the Klingons, from her in her mind, is now dead, and she had to be the one that killed it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Now we get the Mirror saying, this was a really nice scene where they're like, this is our best times together. We're here talking after work in the bathroom. That was sweet.
Wearing the same color PJs.
Yeah, with the little black Star Trek. I want those PJs now.
We should get them and wear them. We should wear them on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a pretty deep conversation where he basically, is telling him, that guy is, he's the reason the blight, and all you gotta do to leave is just open your eyes. Just open your eyes. And I guess Stamets finally does, opens his eyes, and both Stamets wake up from their comas. This is the one from the Mirror Universe. He gets up and he's like, yes, we did it. And he just runs off. Mm-hmm. And our Stamets immediately takes Tilly into the spore room. And he says he's too late. It's already happening to our supply. And it looks like the blight is destroying the spore plants.
Yeah, they're destroyed already. They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Which means the only supply they have left of spores are either the synthetic ones that are super unstable, or the ones they still have, right?
Yeah, or maybe, hopefully, somewhere in the Mirror Universe there are other spores.
Right. All right. Moving on. Oh, this is the face that she makes when she realizes the light sensitivity thing.
Oh, crap.
Oh, it's like...
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, expletive inserted here.
Right.
When she's looking at the power source for their ship and she turns away and like, what, are you sensitive to light? And she goes, yes. The only difference between you and us, our physiology difference between us and you guys is basically we are more sensitive to light than you are, which makes sense.
Sure does to us.
And she's telling him when she's realizing all the things as the Empress is talking about Lorca, and she's realizing that Lorca is not her captain. That, man, what a great, this was such a good scene, Shane. I didn't get enough slides because the limit we have.
We can talk about it. Everybody saw it.
This scene where he pulls him out of the agony booth because he thinks he died, and he I guess uses they're defibrillators, right?
Yeah.
To turn him back to life, and he gets up and he's like, and he basically murders the guy with the defibrillators. Such a Lorca thing to do.
Yeah, totally.
And he was like, I do remember your sister's name. Her name was Ava. And there was plenty of them or something. And he just stomps the guy's head. Oh man, what a great way to end this episode, dude.
Yeah, no, it was you, and you could tell when Michael starts telling Giorgio that he's not my captain and he just did this to get in here, and he starts kind of laid it off, and you see it coming over to him. You become, as the viewer, afraid of this character. You start to fear what he's going to do.
Jason
Isaacs,
which I thought
was great,
pulling this character off so well.
He's always played a good bad guy. That's his thing.
Yeah, but he made me like him too.
Okay, well, at the same time,
I like Lorca and I fear Lorca at the same time.
Well, now we know. Remember, she gave him the neural inhibitor to help so that the pain was not so bad from when he's inside that device. So he was faking his pain. He faked passed out. So when the guy came up on him, well, don't die on me, I'll get in trouble. Right? And then he popped up and killed him. So.
Yeah, her name was Ava. Yeah. Oh, man.
She's just another one. He made us, I can't remember the exact line, but it was basically like somebody else. There's always another one.
There's always another
one always comes along or something like that.
Yeah, that was so gangster.
Bad guy.
As gangster as it gets. We're not doing this recap justice, but I got to say, if you're watching our recap and slash review and you haven't seen this episode, like go watch it. Like you don't have CBS, go find it and watch it. I don't know what to tell you. This episode was killer, dude.
It was the payoff. I mean, there's the thing is, how many episodes are we into it now? Is this 12? If this is, what is it? Episode 12. This is 12 episodes in. We have spent 10 episodes, maybe 11, building up to what we needed to have happen in this very episode in order to redeem the show. This show is redeemed as of this episode. Up until this point, it was questionable.
Yeah, and super questionable.
And, if you're a Star Trek fan, you need to be watching Star Trek Discovery from this point on.
Yeah.
So
if you're worried about, this is not an ad for CBS. I hate the fact that CBS put this show behind a paywall, like All Access, even though I'm paying for it.
And I hate the way they started it still. So in a lot of ways.
I still hate the start of the show, and I hate the Klingon canon and all that, and the sloppy writing. But I gotta say, there's a lot of payoff happening that takes a lot of that sloppy writing that we complained about, and pays it off to the point where we're like, well, it wasn't that sloppy. It was pretty detailed, and somebody in that writing room knows what they're doing, clearly.
Yeah, well, they still screwed up with the Sarek long-distance mind meld crap.
Yeah, no. They took liberties.
There's still things wrong.
The liberties they took with the canon still bother me.
Right.
I hate the Sarek thing. I hate the way they treated the Saru character. I hate the way the Klingons look. I hate the way they sound. I hate all that. All that still bothers me. And when I hear Klingon, I like my brain starts to tune out. Like I don't care. They've really ruined that portion of it. But they're retconning a lot of that. What's that?
At least at this point moving forward, though.
Yeah, we're okay.
We're okay right now.
Every series has problems, whether it be writing problems or canon problems, whatever. And even if they're beloved 10 years later and they run for 18 seasons or whatever, right? You can look past those problems because the majority of it was good. And it looks like we're getting to the point where this show is getting first of all, the last 2 episodes have been phenomenal. Not only is it paying things off, it's retconning things and fixing canon in real time. And the writing, you know, she portrayed Giorgio in the first episode when she tried to mutiny and take over her ship. You know, and then we see her betray her current captain in the same manner, while, you know, it's almost like this weird sort of like, it's hard to explain, but that when we complain about her as a Starfleet officer not doing that, it makes sense now that she's with Giorgio now as the Empress, and she's now, you know, turning on Captain Lorca to take care of Giorgio. That interaction, you know, is sort of a payoff, and they've definitely paid off a lot of things that we initially didn't like. It's sort of working out now, and I think this show, if it continues on this path, is going to go far, as long as they stay away from the Klingons.
Stay away from the Klingons, stay in the mirror universe for a while, and down the road somewhere we'll eventually get back to our universe.
I gotta say, I almost don't want them to go back to our universe. In 7 years in our universe, we get the original series.
That's true. I mean, they could stay in the mirror universe, and with the entire goal trying to get back to our universe. I mean, there's got to be, where are they going with it?
Right. There's got to be a MacGuffin, right?
Right.
So what if, like, we get 3 or 4 seasons like Voyager of them trying to get back to our universe, and all the things that comes from having to be basically resistance people inside of a mirror universe.
I mean, you're going to have some big things happen in order for that to occur.
I get it, but like, I don't know how they're going to keep this show going for like 3 years, which I know that's their plan. Mm-hmm. When technically 7 years in the Prime universe, 7 years from this point, the original series takes place.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Now, their goal was to reset the Prime universe. Is that what we talked about, or what we heard?
I read something about resetting it. I mean, you think they would continue past the original series and just keep going?
I think that whatever interaction occurs here in the mirror universe, whatever they do to get out at some point is going to reset the Prime universe.
Oh, snaps,
and whatever they do
bro.
at that point.
Oh, and they made it really clear that when you go from the mirror universe to the regular universe, you're messing with time, right?
Yes.
Oh man, what if they go back? What if whatever they do messes with time to the point where it sort of combines all the current universes, the Kelvin universe, the Discovery universe, the Prime universe, combines all of those, and we get a whole new soft reboot of Star Trek, and CBS could do whatever they want going forward. Very
possible. Very possible.
And we can possibly see a new Kirk series or another series.
You could, yeah. You could see it spin off of Discovery, and you could end up with What Happens to the Enterprise. Yeah, they could do a whole lot of stuff that would make it believable if they do a good enough job with Discovery as we go forward. If they continue to really do it well,
right,
and they jump us back to the Prime universe, we can tell the story again somehow. We'll see what happens. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I want to see it go forward. I'm super excited. But unlike Star Trek Discovery, this is the end of our show. And we'll be back on Wednesday for The Flash. It was a great show. You gotta go see this episode. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. I don't know why you'd watch our show if you haven't. If you disagree with us, let us know in the comments. If you agree with us, let us know in the comments. Don't forget our 1600 sub challenge. Get in there, subscribe, comment, like, share, all the good stuff. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Shane, you got any closing remarks, bro?
Nope. Like I said, great show. I'm already looking forward to next week's episode. I really, really hope you guys stick with us as we go through this journey. It's going to be lasting a long time, and we're glad you're here watching us.
I agree with that. All right. See you guys on Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.